In the news this week, Liz Truss says the online safety bill must protect free speech. NHS England's gender identity clinic for children could face legal action from at least 1,000 families. And pastor and theologian Alistair Begg calls on Christians to hold fast to the authority and sufficiency of Scripture. Hello. Conservative leadership candidate Liz Truss has said the online safety bill must allow freedom of speech to flourish. It is not the first time Truss has spoken out, as she and fellow leadership candidate Rishi Sunak broached the subject last month. Truss was speaking on GB News' The People's Forum when a university student raised concerns about the bill and its impact on free speech. Truss said she wants to ensure the legislation protects free speech, as well as curbing online content harmful to children.
I have two daughters who are aged 13 and 16, and I worry about some of the material that they can access online. I also worry about the impact of social media on them before they are yet fully adult and fully able to take responsibility. I very strongly agree with you, though, where it's about adults being able to speak freely, they absolutely should be, and it should be the same online as offline. That's a really important principle.
Last month, Rishi Sunak said during a leadership hustings with The Spectator, "I do want to make sure that we are protecting free speech, and the legal but harmful bit is the one that I would want to spend some time as Prime Minister going over and making sure that we're getting that bit exactly right." Attorney General Suella Braverman has said schools which affirm gender-confused children in their trans identity may be breaking the law. In a speech, she said some schools have behaved as though the UK allows people to self-declare their legal sex, which is not the case. Braverman said it is not age-appropriate to teach 4-year-olds that people can change sex or gender, and that exposing 8-year-olds to radical gender ideology would be falling foul of government guidance. In these instances, schools, who may be well-intentioned but misinformed, are breaching their duty of impartiality and indoctrinating children into a one-sided and controversial view of gender. New government guidance to make this clear, she said, would be enforced by Ofsted. The Institute's Kieran Kelly welcomed her remarks. Too many schools have been suckered into applying Stonewall law at the expense of their students. Pupils need education, not indoctrination. Braverman's comments come as NHS England's gender identity clinic for children could be faced with legal action from at least 1,000 families. Law firm Pogust Goodhead is bringing group legal action against the Gender Identity Development Service, which is to be shut down next spring. The clinic will be sued for its unquestioning affirmative approach towards gender-confused children and for prescribing experimental puberty-blocking drugs. Managing partner Tom Goodhead said he expects at least 1,000 clients to join the case. Children and young adolescents were rushed into treatment without the appropriate therapy and involvement of the right clinicians, meaning that they were misdiagnosed and started on a treatment pathway that was not right for them. These children have suffered life-changing and, in some cases, irreversible effects of the treatment they received. And finally, pastor and theologian Alistair Begg has called on Christians to embrace the authority of Scripture in the face of hostility from the world. Speaking to the Keswick Convention from 2 Timothy, he argued that these days the challenge to the believability of the Bible comes from modern beliefs about sexuality. Begg noted that since 2000, the UK has embraced the promotion of homosexuality in schools, adoption by same-sex couples, and same-sex marriage.
We're either going to bow our knees to the sufficient authority and timelessness of the Bible, or we will be swept away by that which comes to us not simply from a secular culture, but from a clergy that has now themselves lost confidence in the Bible.
Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.